All right, this is for Sam, and he was wondering if he could point out some mistakes he's got. And so the first thing I would say right off the bat, Sam, is that I would say right off the bat that you want to really kind of look at the form of the face. And so I think you've got a good color choice. You've got good colors, everything looks solid. But the problem that you've got going on is ultimately the kind of perspective of the face. And so what you want to do is you want to really block out your face. And so if we kind of block out using rough kind of forms here, and then kind of like so. So I always start my heads kind of like this, and then you have to realize the neck was actually going to go back here a little bit more from an anatomy perspective, and then I would probably cut in a little bit more into the neck here as well. Now the next thing I would say is that once you have that in there, and I would tell you to kind of block in kind of the front of the face like so. Just kind of get rid of this section here. So with that blocked in, you want to really kind of realize where things are going. And so ultimately the big thing is that this is your initial forehead motion here, and then if we go straight across with the eyes here like so, you always want to pay attention to where you're going with your kind of perspective. And so if we take these two things, you want to drop this ear down to about here. Okay, so the ear's a little bit too high. And I think you've got good modeling and stuff going on like in the nose. But one of the things that I notice is that you want to cut out kind of a little slice here. And I always kind of tell everybody to kind of pull this little slice inward. And so the reason we're doing that is because as we pull this inside, so as we indent this, it gives us kind of the eye plane that we're going on. And so with that, then what you can do is you can kind of build that into the nose. And so your nose kind of comes over here, and even though you're doing a straight nose, which is cool, you want to kind of block that in. And then what I do is kind of create a kind of a trapezoid here, and so that gives you your nose. So your nose is in a good spot, but the issue that you've got is that you want to push this eye back further in space. And so if this is the nose and the eye is kind of like so I'm just going to kind of round out, this eye starts actually on this side of the nose, and then because the face rounds out, so your face is actually like this, and then the nose, because the face rounds out, we're only going to see a portion of that eye. So I would actually cut that eye down significantly like so. And then the same kind of thing goes with the mouth too, is it fits around that curve. And so when we look at this, and we draw dead center down the eye here, or the nose here, this side is fine, okay? But what's going to happen is as you curve through, you're going to curve around, so you're going to get a little bit more of that kind of piece like that. And one of the tricks that I recommend, and you've got a good sense of motion, but one of the tricks I recommend is break this into separate pieces like so. And by breaking that into separate pieces, you can kind of treat each piece as an individual. And so this would kind of wrap around like that. Okay. And so what I would do is, if I were quick fixing this, what I would actually do is I would actually go through and kind of grab this, and around like so. And let's do a layer copy here. Oops, undo that. Let's get on the right layer here. I would do a layer copy here, and we'd move this inward like so, and erase this like so. And then underneath that, what I would do is actually kind of really kind of grab this here And let's again do a layer copy and then move that up and kind of warp it. Something like that. And so with warping that like so, I would actually grab some of this here and bring that in to kind of push her forehead out a little bit more. And then that also gives you a little bit more on the kind of cheek side of things. And then over here, and you can see here, just by doing these little bits, little bitty kind of pieces here, merge and merge. So even doing these little bitty pieces there, you can see how that flattens or rounds out the face a little bit more, and kind of lets us kind of go in there and kind of fix and kind of adjust the areas accordingly. And then you've got this strong blue highlight here, and you want to maintain that strong blue highlight as a layer of consistency. So here, you know, I would definitely kind of really reinforce that along your the rest of your head here, and just be consistent with your lighting. And then over here, I probably would grab this, and I'm going to drop that a little bit more. And so you can see as I drop that piece a little bit, it kind of cleans up and kind of gets where you're looking for your overall kind of function as far as the ear proportion goes. Like I said, I probably wouldn't make this line so strong on a female, unless this is male and I'm just not getting it. But what I would do is, if you're going to do that type of thing, what I would do is blend the two together to kind of almost create a soft kind of merge here, something like that. And then I would push this back here like this, and then pull this back over here, and that's going to kind of give you a little bit more kind of graceful kind of feeling. So if you look at the two differences here, you know, it's subtle, but it makes a difference when you can see that that's basically kind of pushed in and kind of blend back together. So I hope that helps from a form standpoint. You know, just from that. And then if you use this darker kind of red that you've got going on here, I would actually use the red to kind of give you the illusion that the shoulder's behind it. That way you're not kind of cutting things off. Okay.